Well, the Office of the Presidency confirmed President Muhammadu Buhari's government should not be blamed for the inflation in Nigeria reaching its highest level since January 2004, with the inflation rate hitting 22.2% in April 2023. This was disclosed in a statement by media aide to the President Garba Shehu, reacting to reports tying the rise in inflation to the Buhari administration. He argued that anyone linking Buhari's administration to inflation is not paying attention to facts. According to Shehu, the inflation being experienced in Nigeria is a global problem that no nation is immune to following the global economic downturn and the Covid-19 pandemic. Arise news analyst Mr. Dayo Sobowale joins us now to discuss the presidency's response to the new inflation figures, which have hit a 17-year high under President Muhammadu Buhari. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure being here.
It's a pleasure to have you. Yesterday we talked about an alleged firm foundation. Today we're talking about this inflation, saying that it's not a Nigerian problem, but it's a global problem. But it doesn't make it any better for, the reality on ground. Just wondering if you think this defense by Garba Shehu, if it takes away from what appears to be the poor mismanagement of the economy.
I think he has said those criticizing the Buhari administration, making Buhari the personification of our inflation, are committing a fallacy. But I think he's the one committing the fallacy. That's the fallacy of generalization. Get me an ad hominem, in calling those criticizing the government names. Look at it. They say the world is a global village. We had COVID. Everybody was alive during COVID. But there are certain measures that this administration took on inflation to exacerbate it, that, the easy conclusion is to say that the Buhari administration has escalated the level of inflation in the country. Let us start with the election and the claims of the president on the election on Monday. Remember, there was, money supply. When some money supply falls, it leads to inflation. When cost of production rises, it leads to inflation. When government spending accelerates, it leads to inflation. Has this government not done all those three? And then look at insecurity. You see, all over the world, food prices are rising. Energy prices are rising. But in Nigeria, we know why our food prices are rising. Our bread basket regions, Kaduna, the Benue State, Plateau State, you know what is going on there. The people have abandoned their farms. So, and if food prices escalate, so many things build on that. If transport costs escalate, so many things build on that. So, to say that they are personifying inflation to the person of the president is a fallacy, is an indulgence in mendacity on its own. He's the one not saying the correct thing.
Duly noted. Yes. Now, he did insist that the Buhari administration is taking concrete steps, to stem the global cost of living crisis. I'm wondering what we should make of that, seeing how much time the Buhari administration has left.
I just told you that. High government spending fuels inflation. You see how many times the Federal Executive Council has been meeting in recent times on the way out. You get me? Also, in the last 1 month, and you see the bills they have been, the expenditure. You get me? I agree that those expenditures are for social goods, but those goods will not mature and be beneficial during their tenure. It will take time. But the money rolling out there will fuel the inflation to such a way that our money will be worthless. Purchasing power is down. Somewhere in the release of the government spokesman, he said prices have risen in France by over 1,000%, but those are prices. The inflation in France is still about between 4.7 to 5.7%. You get me? Ours is 22%. The other places where it is higher. But countries like Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, they keep their own very low because they do real fiscal management. What we do here is fiscal, don't let me call it by another guy. So if we indulge in spending money that will not yield dividend immediately, that will not be welfareistic for our people, and that balloons our expenditure, and it makes nonsense of our currency and cripples the purchasing power of their citizenry. And it is this citizenry who voted people into power. Okay, let us even go further. He said it should not personify that it is the war in Ukraine and all that. But look at what Buhari himself claimed, that he has deepened our economy, our democracy, by curtailing money so that people do not have money. That policy was meant to check kidnapping, crime, vote buying, and all that. Well, but the Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional. And where is the money now? People now buy their money in the bank by going to POS. You pay about, for 5,000, you pay 100 naira. You get now. So if you have taken 40,000 from the POS person, he's charging you 200 naira or so, or your 2,000 or your 20,000. What sort of arrangement is that? The banking system, ever since I've been growing up, has been trying to expand banking to the rural areas. You get me? That was why we have that Greek credit guarantee scheme years back, whereby banks are given the number of rural branches they must open so that Nigerians will acquire the banking habit. Now, on the eve of this election, Nigerians could not access their money in the banks. Will that give them any confidence to go and put money in the banks again? And then the Supreme Court ruled that the old notes which he banned unconstitutional should be used till December this year. So which one is the authentic one now? Is it the old note or the new note? And is the money there? They took in money. I said they will print. They did not print. They did not release the one they took in. Why will inflation not fester? And is that not a government policy? So to say that it's a global economy is begging the issue.
Well said.
Begging the issue. Yes.
Arise news analyst Mr. Dayo Sobowale, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday. Appreciate your time as always.